If you're a math educator, you know that math skills tend to go in one ear, but then within a few days, you give an assessment and discover they're already falling out the other. How can we make it stick? In the spring, you probably institute some kind of comprehensive review as you lead towards some course ending exam. When you do that, you often discover much of the content from earlier in the year is pretty much gone. What happened? Well, the students did learn that content. They learned something and then they lost it as they learned something else and then lost that. I call this cycle of learning, losing the forgetting cycle. And the question is, how can we break the forgetting cycle? Where does it come from and what could be different? Well, to get into that, I'm going to share my screen. Let's talk about a typical day. In a math class, you have a limited number of minutes. Here's a pie chart of the minutes we spend. Often, much of the time is spent learning something new. Let's call that a lesson. And then there's independent practice. Let's make sure the students really learned the lesson. If our goal is to march forward, this is an excellent pattern. Every day, we're moving into new content. However, if our other goal is to build long-term attention, there's a significant improvement needed. We advocate reslicing the pie. Yes, we need a lesson. Yes, we need practice, but we also need to spend time ensuring that the content we've learned in the past is still in place. We call time dedicated to that purpose mixed review. It's time dedicated to long-term retention. Ideally, it's cumulative and interleaved and spaced. And then too, in a perfect world, it's individualized. Each student is practicing the content that she needs the most. Well, that's a fairly difficult proposition for the classroom teacher, and that's really where our software comes in. Get More Math provides quality daily review sessions of prior content. You might call it spiral review. We call it mixed review. We also give blocked practice. In other words, you can make an assignment with new content to make sure kids learn today's lesson. Note, lesson is not highlighted. That's because Get More Math is not instructional. We believe that the best teacher is a human teacher, so we have no onboard instructional component. However, we are teacher-driven. In other words, what content should kids be learning and practicing for each day? And also, what should they be spiraling back through? Well, we leave that to the teacher. As the teacher makes assignments, and those would be from grades 3 through 11, we have comprehensive coverage of every state standards. As the teacher makes those assignments, we pay attention and take all the content the teacher has chosen and make that then part of this ongoing spiral review, so that every time a student finishes an assignment, we automatically begin to give her content from prior assignments. Fully teacher-driven, but then the teacher can set back and let the computer make those sessions. If you're interested in getting started or just knowing more, it's quite simple. Go to getmoremath.com. Find the button that says free trial. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for giving this some time and thought. All the best to you as you continue to work towards long-term attention for your students.